The driver of that truck didn't make it home alive, while the person who got cut off is now claiming self-defense. Plus, flooding concerns across parts of the Suncoast will show you which roads to steer clear of, and how simple household items could help reduce firefighters' risks of cancer. Your Suncoast News starts now.
You're watching ABC7 News at 11.
Good evening. Tonight we start with team coverage with several reports of flooding and structure damage across the Suncoast. But first, let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan for a look at our first alert forecast tonight. Bob?
Well, I'll tell you, we've had a lot of rainfall over the past several days, and all that rain that comes so quickly just kind of runs into the streets, and the drains can't handle it so much, and none of it's being absorbed by the land anymore as a result of the ground being so saturated. So we can expect similar conditions again tomorrow when those showers and storms start to flare up. You can see all the activity is gone now, but boy, it was heavy at times. Had winds gusting as high as 55 miles an hour just north of Egmont Key. The rain up in 2.5 inches of rain in just about an hour's time in parts of the Suncoast. It's all gone now, but you can see the heaviest activity by far along the coast and inland. But the rainfall amounts, as I said, were in excess of some places over 2.5 inches of rain, estimates by the Doppler radar site. Now, flooding is also a concern not only on roads, but in the rivers and streams. These are all the flood warnings that are in effect now for the Myakka and Myakka River at the Myakka State Park, also the Manatee River at the Myakka Head, as well as the Peace River in Arcadia, Horse Creek in Arcadia, and the Peace River as well into Hardy County. Well, the forecast is calling for showers and storms, but not tomorrow morning. Looks to be okay. Partly cloudy skies right there for the buses and also the drop-off, and we'll see the showers and storms though popping up in the afternoon and evening, and some of those will be rather strong like we saw today. Well, much more in our forecast. Tell you about a tropical wave, some tropical moisture headed our way. We'll have details on that coming up in a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. We'll check back in shortly. Well, we are entering the peak of hurricane season, and it's apparent here on the Suncoast with floods, road closures, and structure damage. ABC7's Rick Adams joins us live from Tamiami Trail in Venice, where just today parts of the Wells Fargo there collapsed. Rick?
Yeah, Jacqueline, good evening. It's not known yet if this is weather related, but there have been problems all around.
Lightning struck, everything jumped around, everything electrical just was jumping all over the place.
Doug Swick says the place he and his wife have called home on 19th Avenue West in Bradenton the last 15 years is a total loss. Following the lightning strike on his home, a fire erupted in his attic.
It was really loud and everything shook.
Swick says that he's grateful no one was hurt and that he has insurance. Fire officials tell us battling a fire that started from a lightning strike is pretty rare.
We haven't had too many that started a fire on the roof that quick like that. Normally, you get a fuse box that starts smoking, electrical or something like that. Never had one like this in quite a while.
If it wasn't a lightning strike, it was also flooding causing headaches throughout the Suncoast. Ed Cleveland says he's never seen flooding like this in his Sandpoint neighborhood in Bradenton in the 40 years he's lived there.
Concerns me because I think we're seeing flooding in 2 or 3 other places at intersections. The street will sometimes kind of meet in the center when it get a heavy-duty rain, but not like this.
South of Bradenton in Sarasota, this cell phone footage was shot by ABC7 photojournalist Sammy Chido. It shows flooding at 10th Street and Tamiami Trail, slowing down drivers. And around 4 o'clock on Wednesday afternoon, the drive-through at the Wells Fargo Bank on South Tamiami Trail in Venice collapsed. Fortunately, no one was injured. Cleveland, who has a weather background, says a large amount of rain in a short period of time is to blame for the flooding in his neighborhood.
We did have a lot of rain. My weather station recorded almost 2 inches of rain in about 20 minutes time.
And for the absolute latest on the weather, make sure you keep it right here or log on to our website at mysuncoast.com. Reporting live from Venice this evening, I'm Rick Adams. Jacqueline, back to you.
Rick, thank you. Stay dry out there. Charlotte County is extending a local state of emergency due to the red tide outbreak for another week. The declaration lets business owners who have been impacted by the outbreak apply for disaster loans. Eligible businesses can get up to $50,000. Now, there's no word yet on if Manatee and Sarasota counties plan to extend their declarations. Tonight we have the 911 call from an Uber driver in Central Florida. Listen to what he had to say just moments after he fatally shot a man after he cut him off on the road last night.
I fired one shot from my pistol. He dropped the cell phone. I kicked it away. I didn't realize it was a cell phone at first.
The moments leading up to this phone call were all caught on camera as well. Take a look.
I say something? You want my pistol? You want me to shoot you? Oh my God. Oh my God.
Uber driver Robert Westlake now claiming self-defense. He told Polk County Sheriff's deputies the man was trying to force him off of the road and tailing him aggressively for quite some time. Now deputies are investigating the death of that victim, identified as Jason Bowick. A Sarasota man facing charges after sheriff's deputies say he cut off a portion of his dog's tail with branch clippers. Sarasota County Sheriff's deputies were first alerted to Pablo Vega Padron earlier this month when a neighbor shared their concerns about the man's Chihuahua Terrier mix named Randy. When Animal Services arrived, they found that small dog had bandages on its tail and front legs. Vega Padron told them that the dog's tail was infected, but after a vet visit, it was revealed that a portion of that dog's tail was missing. Later, deputies say Vega Padron admitted to cutting off the dog's tail because it was rotting. Veterinary staff confirmed the tail suffered a fracture and should have been surgically removed by medical professionals. Neighbors in the area say they are shocked.
It's understandable, different cultures do different things with different animals, for aesthetic purposes, and it's kind of just a custom. But there's a lot of things that are cultural customs that we just don't do anymore because they're cruel.
Vega Padron has since been released on bond. Randy has been adopted and is expected to make a full recovery. A final arrest has been made following an investigation into an illegal slaughterhouse in Sunrise, Florida. One of the leaders of this alleged animal abuse, Noor Alvandaki, was arrested today when he returned from vacation in Italy. Back in June, Animal Recovery Mission received numerous complaints regarding maltreatment of animals at that location. More than 300 animals, including goats, sheep, cows, dogs, and different types of birds, were being held without food or water. Many of those animals were too weak or near death. Earlier this month, we told you about the $1 million grant to fund decontamination kits for Florida firefighters. Today, many of those 4,500 kits were made right here on the Suncoast. Some firefighters believe the exposure to chemicals while battling fires is causing them to die of cancer. To help educate crews today, Southern Manatee Fire Rescue hosted firefighters from 40 different agencies across the state. Battalion Chief Samuel Eaton came all the way from Palm Beach County Fire Rescue to lead the on-scene decontamination presentation. He says the fire chemicals are life-threatening, but these kits have the power to save lives.
The types of materials that are burning in there are highly volatile and they're known carcinogens. And as a firefighter comes back from that fire scene, if they haven't taken steps to clean themselves up, that stuff is inside their system. It's in their bloodstream, it's in their urine, their breath, and they will smell like a fire for days afterwards.
Each kit includes heavy plastic bags, dish soap, duct tape, and hoses. All 1,400 buckets will be assembled at 10-8 Fire Equipment in Bradenton and then distributed to every fire department within the state. Port Manatee is getting more than $250,000 from the federal government. A $326,000 federal grant will help the port improve security there. In a mutual agreement, the port will add 25% of that to update its access control system. Port Manatee is the closest U.S. deepwater seaport to the expanded Panama Canal and generates more than $2 billion in estimated revenue for the Suncoast. A new home sharing pilot program is underway in Sarasota. It will connect senior homeowners who have extra space with young professionals looking for affordable housing. Friendship Center Sarasota is behind this new program. To apply, homeowners and young professionals both need to fill out an application and then go through an extensive background check. Once approved, both have the ability to look at profiles and choose someone they think would be a good fit to live with. Friendship Center officials say this is not a caregiver situation.
A private agreement between both parties so they can determine how they want to exchange services, like maybe the younger person will do some laundry or yard work, that kind of thing. But it's not an expectation. It really is a situation where people are going to live together.
Rent will be decided by the homeowner. The new program already has about 10 applicants so far. The next time you take a ride on the Siesta Key Breeze Trolley, you can expect to ride in style. The county announcing that it has 3 brand new trolleys that have wood seats and brass railings. That route is free to passengers and runs from the Siesta Key Village down to Turtle Beach. High school female athletes, listen up. The Women's Sport Museum Scholarship is now open for girls in Sarasota, Manatee, and Charlotte counties. Applications are open through September 14th for the 2018-2019 Outstanding Female Athlete Scholarship. 2 winners will receive a $2,000 scholarship each. The program's mission is to inspire girls through the power of sports. And speaking of, a local Sarasota YMCA shark swimmer won gold while representing the USA in Fiji. 16-year-old Emma Wyant from Riverview High School was chosen out of 20 students across the country to represent America in the Junior Pan Pacs. She won the gold medal in the 400 individual medley, so a big congrats to Emma. Straight ahead, Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your first alert forecast, plus why tensions are already forming between the 2 candidates running for Florida governor, and a proposed ban on recreational marijuana in Sarasota County if it is ever approved in Florida.
My name is Luke Perry, and I am 1 million strong. I'm in the fight against colorectal cancer because I believe we can win it. Colon and rectal cancers are the 2nd leading cause of cancer deaths among men and women in the U.S. Colon cancer is preventable. Know the risk factors and make sure to get screened. There are simple, take-home options available. Take control of your health. Screening for colon cancer isn't embarrassing. It can be life-saving. To find out more about your options, visit fightcrc.org.
Ready to open up new opportunities as an electrician? Don't do it yourself. Team up with Mr. Sparky instead. We're locally owned and looking for people like you. We offer our electricians great perks that you just won't get going it alone. And whether you're an apprentice, a master electrician, or somewhere in between, we have a spot for you.
Best decision I ever made.
Apply online or call today.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
It's hard to see when you're outside at night. It's time for the Atomic Beam Sunblast, the new solar-powered light that's super bright. Atomic Beam Sunblast lets you add a light anywhere, and the atomic solar panels charge the built-in lithium-ion battery quickly. Then the 180-degree motion sensor turns on the light when you get near and automatically turns off when you disappear. Look, here's a best-selling outdoor solar light, and here's the super bright Atomic Beam Sunblast. Get the super bright Atomic Beam Sunblast for only $19.99. But wait, call right now and you can double your order and get a second Sunblast, plus our best-selling Atomic Beam Flashlight. Just pay a separate fee. That's 2 Atomic Beam Sunblasts and the Atomic Beam Flashlight. Call now.
Call 1-800-431-6640. That's 1-800-431-6640. Or visit mysunblast.com. So call 1-800-431-6640. Order now.
My California Closets experience has been wonderful. My mother's a huge inspiration. Before she passed away, she would say, you should do something special for yourself. First time I saw my closet, I immediately thought, this is the best thing I've ever done for myself. I call it my Tiffany style closet. I mean, I can shop in my own closet every day. I love that. My name is Cynthia, and this is my California Closets story.
That is a pretty good breakfast. You're not even eating.
Not hungry.
No? Why not? What's up?
Kath and I knew that Jenny had been partying a bit. Found out she tried heroin.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
Bob, we've gotten a lot of rain in the past 2 days, I would say, and more to come possibly?
Yeah, more to come. And if we hadn't gotten to this pattern change, we would still be very dry with that west wind, but things have changed. I want to let people know, yesterday at this time we were talking about the European forecast model and how it was indicating we may see a tropical storm in the Gulf of Mexico and maybe a tropical low off the southeast coast of Florida. Well, the European model has backed off on that, so it looks like we'll still see a tropical wave. What that means for us is more rainfall and not as much wind. Now, we weren't expecting much anyway, as I said last night. Even if it were to develop, it wouldn't be that big of a deal for us. And even now, it's going to be a bigger deal for rain. That's what I thought, for the most part, that's what it would be. So, again, we'll keep an eye on it. You have to realize that we're nearing the peak of hurricane season. The official day is September 10th, and anything can happen very quickly. We saw that last year with Emily. It wasn't even on the charts or on the scope of the Hurricane Center. And then less than 12 hours, we had a tropical storm in the Gulf of Mexico. So having watched these things brew over the past 33 years, I know that sometimes you may not get the warning that you think you might get when it comes to these systems. So we'll watch this wave move over us pretty quickly. Casey Key, Fred Seeger getting that, and a lot of moisture still moving in over South Florida at this hour, which indicates that the atmosphere is pretty juiced up down there. For us, it's rather quiet, but we're going to steady southeast wind tomorrow, and a little sea breeze will once again fire off the storms like we showed you earlier. As far as the rainfall amounts go, you can see some pretty heavy weather from Inglewood up into Osprey today. Also in Bradenton, we had over 2 inches of rainfall in just a short period of time, causing Manatee Avenue to flooded parts. 2.7 inches right there just north of Inglewood, south of Venice. 1.3 near Nokomis, and it's really, the heavy rain has been around for about 5 days now. 5 days from beginning actually on Friday and continuing over the weekend and today. 2.7 near Stoner Road right there near Davenport Terrace, also getting over 2 inches of rainfall. It looks like we'll see heavier rain again tomorrow across parts of the Suncoast. There is right there Manatee Avenue, and you can see near Northwest Bradenton over 2 inches of rainfall. Not as much in downtown Bradenton, but a bigger amount as well into Wauchula. So here we go again. Tomorrow we'll start off real nice. Maybe some clouds, some debris clouds in the morning like we saw today. Then the showers and storms will start to fire up in the afternoon. Some of those could turn severe. I know we've had some severe weather to the north of us as far as the warnings go. That means winds up to 60 miles an hour. But we had a wind gust up to 55 just north of Egmont Key just around 5 o'clock this afternoon. Now, Friday looks to be the same with some heavier storms developing in the afternoon and evening. So some of the games may be disrupted like we saw last week. And that pattern doesn't go away. It's going to stay with us Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. Now, there is some dry air to the east of us. As some of that may work in, so it may not be as widespread of a rainfall like we saw today, but there'll still be some big storms around. We're watching this system also coming off the coast of Africa right now. There's a chance of developing into a tropical disturbance here and tropical storm down the road, but that's way out there in the Atlantic. This is the wave we're talking about right here. This is going to continue to move off toward the west-northwest, and the European forecast model doesn't show that closed low at this point. It gets close to it, so this model, if it shifts tomorrow, there certainly could be something there. And then it moves off into the Gulf where the water temperatures are in the 90s and has a chance of possibly developing into something down the road. I wouldn't be too surprised if indeed something did pop up there. The GFS still shows a wave moving through. The next storm would be Florence at this point. So we'll keep an eye on it for you right here. As far as the boating goes, tomorrow, east winds throughout the afternoon, early afternoon, then a west coast sea breeze develops late in the day, a light chop on the bays and inland waters. As far as the 7-day forecast goes, then we are looking for a good chance for scattered storms riding in through the weekend and even beyond for the holiday weekend into Labor Day. A good chance for showers and storms. We'll still be watching the tropics. Looks like that tropical wave will be near us on Tuesday and Wednesday, increasing the rainfall coverage across the west coast of Florida. Jacqueline?
Bob, thank you. 2 candidates are set to square off for Florida's open governor seat. Yesterday, Republicans chose Representative Ron DeSantis, a conservative who aligned himself with President Trump, while Democrats shocked many by voting for Andrew Gillum, the progressive mayor from Tallahassee who got support from Senator Bernie Sanders. With the issues laid out on both sides, New College of Florida political professor Frank Alcock points to the group of non-party affiliated voters that may make a difference in this race.
Those numbers are increasing. They're over 1 in 4, high 20% of voters statewide. Who will they pick? And I think they're out there for courting on both sides.
He also says this race may give us a sneak peek into what we might see come 2020. Well, the website that tabulates Sarasota County's election results, called Sarasota Votes, did have some issues last night as election results were coming in. The website showed that 100% of the precincts were accounted for when that wasn't actually the case, causing some candidates to think that they had won a race that they ultimately had lost. Sarasota County's Supervisor of Elections, Ron Turner, says they talked to the website vendor and had that issue fixed. Turner says it did not affect any results.
The Elections Office website is not connected to our tabulation system in Sarasota County, so that is an election security feature. So the results on our website are unofficial results. They're for informational purposes.
Turner says they've learned from their mistakes and it will not happen again come November. Now, there will also not be any recounts after last night's election, despite a handful of close races. According to Turner, in Florida, candidates cannot request a recount. Under Florida law, if a race is separated by 0.5%, there's an automatic machine recount. There are not any local races that fall into that category.
I've also had people ask, well, do you have runoffs like in the governor's election? Because no, you don't. So the person that received the most votes, they go on to November. They're the nominee.
The closest race here on the Suncoast was the race for Manatee County Commission District 2 between Reggie Bellamy and Charles Smith. Bellamy won that race by 185 votes. Now, we've posted all of the results from yesterday's Florida primary on our website. Just head over to mysuncoast.com for a look at those. Sarasota County Commissioners heard a first reading today of a proposed ordinance to ban recreational marijuana. If ever approved here in Florida, that ordinance would put in place zoning regulations that would prevent cultivating, processing, or selling marijuana for recreational use. Currently, Florida does not allow recreational use of cannabis. The commission recommended that ordinance be drawn up after the approval of a second dispensary in the county a few years ago. Those opposed and those for recreational marijuana spoke out at the meeting.
It's not the government's responsibility to dictate to individuals what they do inside of their own home.
The sheriff's department has enough to do with opioids, drunk driving people, crime in general. We don't need recreational marijuana in the state of Florida.
The second public hearing will take place on October 10th, at which time the commission could move to approve or deny that proposed ordinance. One topic that may not make it to Florida ballots this November is banning greyhound races. The Florida Supreme Court heard arguments today in a legal fight about whether people should vote on the proposed constitutional amendment this November.
The vague ballot language and the vague title, that it does not disclose everything to the people of the state of Florida that's included in the proposed amendment.
We don't think the other side's arguments are meritorious. This amendment should go and be voted upon. It's clear that the people have a right to choose whether they want a gambling activity, a greyhound racing, which is cruel to animals, to continue. It's that simple.
Earlier this month, Leon County Circuit Judge Karen Guyver sided with the Greyhound Association, ruling that the amendment should not go on the ballot because she said it was misleading. The state appealed Guyver's ruling, setting up the Supreme Court arguments today, a little more than 2 months before the November 6th general election. Sports is next, but first, here's what's coming up on Jimmy Kimmel.
Tonight, Don Cheadle and Jimmy face off.
I'll fight him to a stalemate.
Plus, the striking Zoe Kravitz. And Tiffany Haddish learns something new.
Your name is Jimmy.
My name's James.
That's your real name? I didn't know that.
Emmy-nominated Kimmel, tonight on ABC.
The ABC7 First Alert weather app just got even better. It's easy to use once you download it. First, tell the app to follow you, so you get alerts pinpointed to exactly where you are. Then customize your settings with all the places you go, from the beach to grandmother's house. Get accurate alerts for everyone you care about. You can even pick which weather alerts and categories you want and what they sound like. More ways to customize and more ways to keep your family safe. Download the ABC7 First Alert weather app today.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare.
You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
You now have the power to prioritize your Facebook feed and get local news and information from the team you trust. Go to the ABC7 Sarasota page on Facebook. Give us a like, then click following and choose See First. That's it. Customize even more by choosing notifications. Choose breaking news, posts, live videos, anything you want to see in real time. Take control of your newsfeed and stay connected to what's happening in your community with ABC7 on Facebook.
Who else has been taking your prescriptions? Keep your medicine and your family safe and secure. Mind your meds. To learn how we can help, visit the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids at drugfree.org.
Now, sports.
Today, the Atlanta Braves announcing its 2019 spring training schedule. Atlanta's 32-game slate will begin on February 23rd with a road game against the New York Mets in Port St. Lucie. The Braves will conclude the Florida portion of their exhibition season with the opening of their new spring training facility in the West Villages in the city of Northport on Sunday, March 24th against the Tampa Bay Rays. The Baltimore Orioles will also begin their 2019 spring training on February 23rd, but at home at Ed Smith Stadium in Sarasota against the Minnesota Twins. The Orioles will have 17 home games from the start of spring training until they end on March 25th. Well, the Tampa Bay Rays hoping for a comeback. Hoping for a comeback against the Atlanta Braves tonight in Georgia. At the top of the fourth, it's a close call. The Rays up by one. Tommy Pham's two-run shot barely clears the fence, but they stayed on top. The final score tonight was 6-3. Aaron Rodgers is now the NFL's highest paid player. The two-time NFL MVP and Green Bay Packers agreed to terms today on a 4-year extension that would keep Rodgers under contract through the 2023 season. The 4-year deal is worth $134 million with more than $100 million in guaranteed money. That's a look at sports. We'll have tonight's winning lotto numbers straight ahead.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do it yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Helping families with mesothelioma is all we do. My firm has been offering a free book on mesothelioma for over 10 years. Since that time, hundreds of people with mesothelioma have trusted us to represent them. We have local offices throughout the U.S. and there is no risk to you. Mesothelioma really is all we do. Call us at 1-800-485-6000. That's 1-800-485-6000. Or go to mesoonlylaw.com.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call. TruStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
And even if you're on a fixed income, prices fit your budget, starting at less than 32 cents a day. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease. And with no medical tests or health questions, you cannot be turned down for any reason. Call 1-800-842-7189 now for a free, no-obligation quote. TruStage offers plans to fit your budget. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage. Call 1-800-842-7189 now.
The Florida Lottery winning numbers are sponsored by Frontier Fios.
A rare animal was born this week at Zoo Tampa at Lowry Park. The animal care teams have welcomed the birth of an endangered okapi calf. That calf was born to Betty and Zach, who have been at the zoo since 2006 as part of the species survival plan. Now, the okapi is a solid chocolate cover with a face like a giraffe and zebra-like striped legs. I really like them. They're pretty cute.
Yeah, I would never have known.
I know.
I've never seen anything like that. Never heard of anything like that.
neither.
So yeah, it's kind of interesting.
Well, they are endangered,
It's
so hopefully
just to the north, right there in Tampa. That's right. We are looking at some showers and storms again tomorrow, so get ready. They'll be here just pretty much right on time. Just after 3 o'clock, they should be pretty strong.
All right, thank you so much, Bob. And thanks for joining us tonight. We'll see you right back here tomorrow evening. Have a great night.